So today we're going to dive into a case that really gets you thinking about what we call an accident in a nursing home.
hmm
We have a case report here from the firm Bedsore.Law, and it looks at a situation in Virginia that on the surface seems straightforward, but it's really not.
Right. It really peels back the layers on how something that looks like just, bad luck is often anything but.
Exactly.
We're talking about a man named Walter, 78 years old. And the key thing to understand is why he was in the facility in the first place. He wasn't there for long-term care. He was there to recover from a mild stroke.
So the goal was for him to get better and go home. That's a huge distinction,
It is. But of course, with his age and the recent stroke, he was a definite fall risk.
which the facility would have known.
Oh, absolutely. And knowing the risk is only step one. The second and more important step is doing something about it. They created a very specific care plan for him. And that's the document that matters most here. It's everything. It's not a guideline. It's a medical order. And Walter's plan said, in no uncertain terms, assist of one for all transfers.
Assistive one. So to be clear, that means a staff member had to be physically helping him anytime he moved.
Every single time, from a bed to a chair, from a chair to standing up. If he moves, someone is with him. Period.
But I'm guessing that's not what happened.
Not even close. The report describes this one specific incident. Walter needed to get from his bed into his wheelchair. The plan required assistance. He was left to do it on his own.
Which resulted in a fall. Now, a lot of people might hear fall and think, okay, a bad bruise, maybe a scare. Why was this so catastrophic?
Because for a 78-year-old man, a hip fracture, which is what he got, can be a life-altering event. It sets off this horrible cascade.
Uh-huh.
Walter needed major surgery, then grueling physical therapy. And the report notes that he was left with chronic pain and, his independence was just gone.
So the stroke didn't end his independence. The fall did.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And this is where the investigation by Bedsore.Law really pivots. It stops being about a simple fall and starts being about a systemic failure. The question became, why was no one there?
Right. Because the easy excuse is always, oh, the nurse just turned her back for a second.
And that argument just didn't hold up. The investigation dug into the facility's records, and what they found was, well, pretty damning. The place was chronically understaffed.
Uh-huh.
But here's the aha moment. It wasn't just Walter. They discovered a pattern. Other residents had fallen in very similar ways because care plans just weren't being followed.
So this wasn't one bad employee having an off day.
No, this was an entire operational philosophy. It was a choice to run the facility without enough staff to actually do the job safely. It's not an accident when you create the conditions for it to happen over and over.
And I imagine that pattern is what really drove the outcome here.
It had to. The firm, Bedsore.Law, they secured a $375,000 settlement for Walter's family.
Which is significant.
It is, but when you read what the family said, you see it was about more than the money. His daughter, Lisa, talked about this feeling of broken trust. His son, James, said the legal help gave them peace of mind.
It's accountability. The settlement is basically a financial penalty for breaking a promise.
It forces them to acknowledge that a care plan isn't just paperwork. It's a promise. And there's a real cost to breaking it.
So if we could distill this down for someone listening, maybe someone who has a parent in a facility right now, what's the big takeaway?
Don't just file the admission papers away. Read the care plan. Know it inside and out. If that plan says two-person assist for all transfers and you only ever see one aide going into the room, that is a massive red flag.
You have to match what's on the paper with what you're seeing with your own eyes.
Exactly. Think of staffing levels as a safety feature, just like the handrail in the shower. If it's not there, the risk goes way, way up.
That's a very clear and, frankly, sobering way to put it. We'll wrap things up there.
Before we go, here's a final thought to chew on. We often think about safety in healthcare as the absence of mistakes, but maybe we should think of it as the presence of resources. Because if the resources, like staff, aren't there to begin with, is the inevitable mistake that follows really an accident, or is it just the system working exactly as designed?
Something to watch out for. We'll see you in the next deep dive.